All right, let's read another book. I got my reading snuggie on. I've got my wine procured and a little consumed. I've got the candles lit in the other room. I've got my recliner in the 30-degree angle, and the lights are dimmed. Not in here, but they're dimmed. Okay, so today we are reading Lord of the Fading Lands, an epic romantic fantasy adventure of Fae Kings and true love, parentheses, the Terran Soul Book 1, in parentheses. This is by HarperCollins Publishers. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's my job to tell you about the epicness and if it's a romantic fantasy adventure. Yeah, like, stay in your lane, HarperCollins Publishers. Don't know what a Terran Soul is. I'm not even going to Google it. I'm pretty sure it's something made up for this book, hopefully. So it came out to $8.99. After tax, that is $9.73. This looks like it's a HarperCollins publisher. It looks like it's traditionally published instead of on Amazon like you see these days. I think it was done in September 28th, 2010, so it's been like 15 years. I did see this on the top 200 list of 2024. It was in the top 30. It was right next to Zodiac Academy, which is what my partner is reading. She's not really interested in what I'm reading. She wants to read her Zodiac Academy. I won't be reviewing Zodiac Academy because there's a character named Darcy in it, and then that's a no. We're not doing that. So she's having fun with it. She likes it. I think she's on book 3 or something. But we are going to be doing Lord of the Fading Lands by C.L. Wilson. We have a 3 out of 5 spicy rating. Not very hopeful with the last 2 3 out of 5 spicy ratings. Definitely need more, but I mean, it's still a good book either way, possibly. We have a 416 page count on romance.io, and my Kindle is showing up at 410 with some Roman numerals pages too. It has 181 ratings with an average rating of 3.95. So I would, for something that's in the top 30, I would expect a higher average rating. So maybe the first book wasn't as good as the rest of the series. I don't know. It's definitely saying stuff. This is definitely my first top 30 favorite on Reddit that I read. I looked at Lady of Darkness. I think it was around the 200s. And then the Shapeshifter series I watched wasn't even on the list. I didn't look at any other books to see if they're also on the list, but we get to them when we get to them. Okay, and here's the cover. The best book I've read in years by Christine Feehan. I want to see your criteria. This font is really nice. I really like it. This looks like a fantasy novel, honestly. Not even a romance novel. I mean, I guess it has rose petals, so that's very romantic-y. We have a wing here. I don't think I've ever seen a wing like this. It looks like bones, honestly. It's like I don't even know how to explain this. Like metal? It doesn't look like a dragon. It doesn't look like, I mean, I guess it looks like Fae, sort of. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think the only Fae wings I've ever seen was from the from Sleeping Beauty remake. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. With Angelina Jolie, I think. Those are Fae wings. Those don't like Fae wings. I don't know. That's the only like Fae I can think of in any kind of movies I've seen. It's USA Today bestseller. Congratulations, C.L. Wilson. I'm sure that's pretty hard to do. Fire. We got some things on the run. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. So I'm going to go and read a book, and then I will come back and tell you how I like the book. So I'll see you later. All right, welcome to the spoiler-free review. I read the book. Did I like it? Was it good? Yeah, it was really good. Will I reread it? Yeah, maybe. I'm definitely going to come back to the series, so I'll probably just reread it when I do that. The writing prose was a little old-fashioned. It was a little bit harder to read than a lot of the newer novels. I don't think it's like a bad thing. Just bumps up the word count a little bit, and it definitely does give you a different feel when you read it. I probably would have bounced off it before, but I liked it now. Do I recommend it? Yes, I recommend it to my partner. She's got the Audible. She's checking it out. The trigger warnings weren't like, I didn't really kind of agree with it, like technically true, but like I didn't feel like it was in any bad way. Any triggers was off screen, so read the trigger warnings. Come out to you. I don't think it was a big deal though. I'm giving the book a 5 stars. I had an absolute blast with the book. All the characters were very consistent. They didn't change towards the end. It always felt like something that they would do, and it was fun and it was engaging. Couldn't put it down once I got towards after I got past like the beginning. It starts a little slow, and the antagonist is the perfect foil to the main characters. I can't think of a single downside to the book. It was a wonderful experience. It felt very tongue in cheek. Didn't feel like it was supposed to be taking it very seriously very much. So I was just having fun with it. The book is mainly about the relationship. So this is an official romance novel. It's not a fantasy novel. Unlike some fantasy novels that have romance in them, this is about the romance, and it's so endearing. It's so nice the way that they both treat each other and they court each other and they're just falling in love and they're getting rid of obstacles in that. The romance is actually amazing. It's really healthy. The way that they treat each other and they court each other and they start to fall in love is so beautiful. It's very healthy in my opinion. World building is great. It's basically about this fish out of water experience for all these fae into the human lands and stuff. So we didn't really see the fairy lands at all. It was just mainly in the human lands, but it was fun watching these experiences. There is a plot. There's conflicts and consequences and resolution to obstacles, and the characters are growing and stuff. So it's a really good experience. I love both the MMC and the FMC, and I'm rooting for their relationship very, very hard. So that's all I have to say without spoilers. From here on out, there's spoilers, so be warned. So in general, this book is about a Fae king who has been isolated in the Fae lands for 1,000 years after he scorched the world when his mate was executed. He asks this orb what to do because his people are dying. They're all heavy with the weight of all this loss, and they're not able to create any more Fae. The orb tells them to go and find this human girl. As the king approaches the human girl in the human lands, he discovers that she's his true mate. It's kind of like a soulmate or a twin flame, whatever label you want to call it in this from your favorite fantasy novel. She is a woodcarver's daughter and comes from poverty and has any high status or anything. And he comes in and claims her. One's very confused how this woodcarver's daughter could be the true mate of a Fae king. Apparently, it's never happened before. And in the book becomes the courting of these two characters. They fall in love and get ready for a wedding, and that's like the entire book. There's hijinks because of this, because you have this incredible, like incredulous experience happening and stuff, and everyone's just kind of reacting to it. There's an antagonist. There are mages from the 1,000-year war from before, and they control magic just like the Fae do in a much different, insidious way. They're trying to stop this true mateness thing because they know if they kill the true mate of the Fae King, he will die as well. You also have court nobles like the queen and other dukes, and they're very upset that the king has uplifted a pauper into their society, and now kind of they're equals. And generally, that's what the book is about. That pretty much covers everything here. This is part of a 6-book series. Or a 5-book series, I believe, and this is the first book. I believe this was written as 2 books, and they split it up into 2. So like, you really just want to read the second one as well, which I might do off screen and not do a review for a while. The ending leaves a lot of tea on the table and stuff. So I definitely want to read the tea. All right, let's talk about the Fae first. I'm 3 books into this series of 21 reviews, and all 3 have had Fae in them. I'm kind of feeling a trend here. Like, I feel like this is a little bit popular in romance novels. And the first time I'd read about a Fae was in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, I read half the book, and I thought it was really interesting. But before, like, I always thought like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast was Fae. Like, that's what I picture when the Fae. Because when I started reading this book, I was like, oh yeah, he's like Beast. He is like Beast. He's like a satyr, if anything. I always thought it was like very tricksy and fairy folk and stuff. Like it completely clashes with how I see these guys, which is like just extremely honorable warrior poets. Like the Fae feel like this blend between werewolves, where they have this like really ferocious animal side to them, and they have the vampire like romance side of it, where they're very just like longing and yearning and a darker side to their souls, where they hate themselves and stuff. They're immortal, and yeah, like it feels like this blend between them, and then they look like humans and they're hot. So I feel like this term of Fae has been co-opted somewhere, and this may be one of the OG books. I was reading online afterwards and saying that this was one of the OG that created this popular image for the past 15 years of what Fae are, which is like super hot, sexy warrior poets. I'm really curious about this etymology, and I might research on off the side is like how this whole Fae thing came into being. Because before it was always just werewolves, vampires, and like fairy folk, satyrs and stuff. I heard that Sarah J. Maas was even took like inspiration from this book that I read to create the Throne of Glass series and the Kotar series. And I absolutely love the Fae in this novel. They have this really positive and healthy masculinity to them, where like it feels like they spend 16 hours every single day just training to be the most lethal as possible, and then the rest of their time they write poetry and try to court women. I really wish we could have seen like the female side of this, because they talk about them not being able to hurt anyone. Like there's one female in here, and she's already like true mated up. So I want to see like we have the men courting these women, and how they act and how they think and stuff. But how does the women in this society operate? I don't know. There are some parts in the museum where they're like just very curvy and very sexual or sensual, like just like worthy of these Fae warrior poets. And it's so much fun watching the Fae in this a human land interacting, because like you have all these human expectations that we have for like how people should act, and the Fae are acting like how they act. They don't care about norms and stuff. So it's very fun to read and watch as these two cultures clash. I have much more to say about this as I get into like favorite moments and stuff. I'll be pointing them out, but I want to talk about MMC and FMC first. All right, let's talk about our female main character, Ellie. We start out as a woodcarver's daughter in a human kingdom. She's 23, I think. Thank you for not making her 17 or 13. Not a teenager, thank fucking God. She has two twin sisters that are super cute and have two wonderful parents that are pragmatic and thoughtful. They are God-fearing churchgoers and they hate magic. She has nightmares going on, and feels this deep darkness in her soul she doesn't want to release. Feels like something very bad will happen if that darkness ever gets released from her. We don't really get to see that much in this book. Hopefully in the next few books. Just keep shoving those feelings down, girl. Never let it out. Nothing bad will ever happen if you just keep ignoring the pain inside you. And the mother's sick of her shit and wants her to pick a suitor, but there's no suitors because she's ugly. Literally, the author writes her as ugly. It's a choice. Like you have these other women and people telling her she's ugly in the novel, and then like the author has to chime in and bully her too. So basically, she's got no job, she's ugly, and the only hope in this world is to find a suitor, make some cute babies. I guess I don't know how you're gonna do that if you're ugly. This girl's down on her luck bad, and her dad's being pragmatic, and it's like, okay, maybe this is kind of like your only chance to find any kind of happiness with this guy that's being very lecherous towards her, and like she doesn't want this. She wants love. She doesn't want lust. So she calls out to someone for help her, and that's when the whole true mate thing happens. The king hears her call. This is all blatant wish fulfillment. I'm going to allow it, though, overruled, because this is a female power fantasy, and this is the stuff that we want to read about. This isn't done in a negative way. She does have magic. There is a reason why she was picked, which was that she was adopted and found in the woods, and she's not actually a human. I'm sure every single girly that reads this is all like, Mom, Dad, am I adopted? Please let me be adopted. Yeah, if we're going to have a novel to read, let's get some fucking wish fulfillment. So this whole true mate thing between the FMC and the MMC is that she has to accept it. She doesn't think that she deserves this connection. She has imposter syndrome. And like, I'm with her on that one. She's very much like, you can't change me. I'm a pauper. And I'm just like girl, let this happen. Like, what are you doing? You want to go back to the lecherous butcher's son? Like let the king court you. I get that you're very self-deprecating and don't think you deserve it and stuff, but like, I don't know, give it a chance. Like, get that pros and cons list out, just like, butcher's son, the king, the most powerful being in the world, wants to be my true mate soul. Might be surprised which one you're gonna pick. So we learn towards the end of it that she's not a human and stuff, and that all of our magic powers and shadow is actually not just depression or like self-hate. She actually has a shadow in her she doesn't want to release. There's two fays towards the end of it that have to die for this knowledge, and they unfortunately did not get that knowledge back to the king that she's not fae, she's not human, she looks like she's a mage. It is kind of tragic watching these two fae die, thinking that they could not accomplish their mission and get that information back to the king, but they did get the information to the most important person, which was me. I appreciate their honorable death, and it was not in vain. I'm looking forward to when the king finds out, because like I got my popcorn ready. But I do appreciate that we were told, and it wasn't to be hidden from the rest of the books. Like, thank you for telling us that. And at the end, the villain discovers that she is his daughter. So she's the daughter of like a very powerful mage, and he starts molesting her. I'm like, she's your daughter, and you know this. This is gross. Was that really necessary to put in the plots, author? Are you okay? I wish with Ellie, we really didn't see a lot of her thoughts coming through on a lot of what's going on. It was mainly focused on the main male character. If she isn't a like self-insert character, she does have personality, she does have feelings and stuff. I felt like the focus was more on the MMC. I wish we could have seen more from what the FMC was feeling. And that's basically what I have to say about the FMC. So let's get to Rain, the MMC. We start with Rain talking to the Eye of Truth, discover like what's happening with the Fae. How can we circumvent this destruction of their people? Terrans are dying. I still really don't know what a Terran is. It's like a flying cat that breathes fire. Gotta get your meow meow on, He's given this picture of Ellie and the human kingdom, so he, goes to find and search for this girl to find out why the Eye of Truth is shown it to her. First off, stop. Back up. So Rain is the last Fae that can turn into a Terran, and you still don't know what Terran is. It's not really explained what Terrans are. They're just cat things. They don't really understand why there's a Fae connection to these things, why it's so important. I hope we go into more of this later. It's not really explained at all, but he can turn into a flying cat. I'm cool with that. I wish we could have expanded a little bit more on this. I really do hope that they get into it later, because that sounds cool. So anyways, this guy, 1,000 years ago, during this war, when his wife got executed, went and scorched the world. They have poems, they have paintings. This is one of the most significant events in the entire history of this land. He's so distraught with this death and destruction. It's weighing on his soul. It's one of the reasons the Fae can't copulate again, make more Fae and stuff. It's they all have this burden on them that is hurting them, physically hurting them. Which is actually a cool magical system. If you're going to make these really powerful Fae magic users and stuff, having some kind of bad thing when they kill people is very good. I like it. But this motherfucking Eye is yeah, have another wife, bro. Hey man, I know you have 1,000-year sobriety in relationships, but check this girl out. And Rain is yeah, I have a 1,000-year sobriety token in my pocket. Make sure that I don't stay away from all women and make sure that nothing ever happens like that again. Don't want another apocalypse if I just start hitting up this girl. And the Eye of Truth is oh, that's so cool, man. Look, I got this one though. It has some fentanyl this time. Let's come check this out. This is the good shit. And Rain's oh, cool. Thank you. You're such a great friend. Here, hold on to my token real quick. I feel like they might have learned their lesson the last time. Just keep them away from women. I don't know. I mean, I guess we wouldn't have the novel if like they were practical about it. But so thank you, Eye of Truth. I appreciate it. Like I just really feel this Eye of Truth is like the actual antagonist of this entire arc because like he's really trying to start another apocalypse here. I feel like they should be a little sus. Is all I'm saying. So we head out. Rain is heading off to find out what's going on with this girl and discover that she's his true mate. This guy is great. Rain has got to be one of my favorite characters. He's so savage and edgy and like dark stuff, but he always is like so nice to Ellie. He never once does anything to like piss her off or go against what she says. And he's very much like, whatever you want is going to happen. We're going to make it happen. Just tell us. He's very much and very literally would burn the world for her. And he just like goes to these courts. Like he knows the proper manners and stuff. And he just burns all these court people right in front of him. He's like, you got this tall, ugly girl. The author is saying that she's ugly. But she's just so beautiful too, this Fae, because she is his true mate. And he just treats her like the most beautiful person in the world. And it's heartwarming. I mean, that's how I want to do my relationships. Like, fuck everyone else. But my soulmate, she gets everything. And then you have Ellie's dad, who's watching this guy she knows would burn the world for Ellie. And if, like, he keeps Ellie from this guy, he will burn the world. And he just, like, strikes a match, gets his pipe loaded, and, like, see here, Sonny, we got rules around these parts. You want to date my daughter, you're going to wed her. Like, he has no fear. It's just absolutely will die for his daughter, too. It's like, make sure that he's trying to set his daughter up for success. And will literally stand in front of this man that will burn the world and is making sure that Ellie gets everything she wants. Can you please be my dad? I don't really like need a dowry anytime soon, but I would, in case I ever need to negotiate a dowry, please be my dad. It's just healthy masculinity from the dad too. It's so wonderful. So that basically sets off the book. We have these two people clashing and stuff, and the daughter wants to do it right. She's a good church-fearing person. Everyone was set at ease if the king courts her correctly, and that's what begins our story, and that's when we end our story too. Like, we're still into the manner of courting this wedding. And like they start this wedding with the in-laws, and this perfect human being, Rain, the king and stuff, is being so perfect for his wife, future wife to be and stuff. And even he can only last 45 minutes with wedding plannings. He starts yawning and getting bored and looking for like something better to do. And I appreciate this author because now I have ammunition for when my daughter is getting married. I'm gonna be like, look, the most perfect man in the world can't handle wedding plannings. I don't know what you expect me to do. Yes, I'm trying to strive for my 45 minutes of not being bored, but please have a little patience with me. So I really appreciate this. My daughter probably isn't going to. Rain reminds me of Gomez from the Addams Family. He has this psychoticness and deep, dark part of his soul. He's not like shown to be like a good person, but he absolutely adores his wife. He puts all of his energy into making sure his wife has everything she needs and all her needs are filled and stuff. And he just loves her and worships her. It's like this positive possessiveness, this positive jealousy of like not letting any obstacle stand in her way. Like, it's not trying to control her. It's not trying to like put her in a cage and stuff. It's to like give her all the agency in the world to thrive and love her and watch her just become this better person and grow with her. It's so healthy and positive. And he is sort of controlling, like, but it's mainly for like her benefit. She doesn't understand the danger that's happening and stuff, and he's making sure that she's safe. And we get to see slowly throughout the book, like, oh, she is in danger. Her dad discovers it, her mom discovers it. Like, there's forces moving here to stop this union, and he was right the whole time. So yeah, it just feels like this positive possessiveness, this healthy possessiveness, or positive jealousy, if you'd even call it. I don't know how to really describe it, but like the way that he treats her is just, in my opinion, really healthy. And then you get to all the other fae that are around this king, and they're also examples of positive masculinity. They're watching their king court this woman, and they're taking notes. They're cheering it on. It's like they're all watching sports, and they're just like making bets on whether this courting will happen or what they should do better and stuff. Like they're so enthralled with their king courting this woman, and they're like loving it. Oh, here he goes, Jim. He's placing his feather on the pillow. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. It's risky. She might not truly feel the emotional value of that gift, but let's see if the risk works out. She sees it. She's considering it. She accepted the gift. Oh, the courting continues. So that's what it feels like watching this. All these fae watch their king like court this woman. They're cheering it on, and it's so awesome. I feel like we've lost something in society. Like sports should be the thing that we watch, and the sport should be about courting women. I mean, I guess it kind of is. Like every athlete I know gets laid. I'm trying to imagine these gym bros, or like stop teaching how to like dominate women or red pill them and stuff, and like talking about like how to have the best healthy relationship with the women you meet. Like, what if gym bros like advise each other on how to like heal the pains in their lives and women's lives that they meet, and like write poetry and acts of kindness they could do to be a healthier relationship. I want to live in this world. And that's what it felt like watching this fae. It's like there's just this incredible positive masculinity of what men could possibly be. Like it should be just about like going to the gym and taking care of yourself and become as lethal as possible, but at the same time being so nice and sweet to the people that you're courting. It comes down to like a concept of honor, I guess, and it's something that I just feel like we've lost. I've always thought of honor as something that people emotionally guilt trip you into to force you to do something you don't want to do. I've never really seen an example of it being like be positive and good for you and stuff. And in this case, this is one of the first times I've read it where like these honorable warrior poets and stuff are someone I want to be. I want to be in this culture. It sounds so cool. They're absolutely role models for me. Okay, so let's talk about the villains and the antagonists. They're really interesting with these mages that are here because they're pretty much like the complete opposite of the Fae. They are the complete foil to the Fae. While Fae are honorable and don't lie or commit subterfuge, they want to fight you in honorable combat, one-on-one. You know, like to die to someone that is superior to them isn't like dishonorable. While the mages use information warfare against them, they turn people against them. They go for the public opinion of politics, these backdoor deals, and they mind control people, and they try to hide all their magic usage. It's very the opposite of Fae. And multiple times I was just like, God, how do you fight against these guys? Like, they're really turning the people against the Fae, and they just like feel kind of ill-equipped to deal with it. But at the same time, they're just so honorable. So like you have this public opinion of them, and then you go and meet them and act around them. And they're like, oh, these guys are awesome. Why did I think they were bad? So like literally just existing and being themselves is kind of counteracting the mages and stuff. And it's kind of interesting. We have hints of another antagonist at the end, which is completely off screen. So it's probably be more important during the rest of the books and stuff. But I mean, the mages weren't super important in the book. They were just kind of like, I don't know, like cartoon villains. Like all their plans kept getting foiled. It was kind of funny. It was very tongue-in-cheek. It just felt like you're not really supposed to super take them seriously, but they also were like super adult dark because they're mind controlling and like date raping girls. It's all done in a very fashion of like these people are evil. Like you should not be liking them at all. And then you have the courts and the queen. The queen is very upset that a noble wasn't chosen to be Rhaen's king, and that she has to now see herself as equals to this queen of the Fae now. And she's a pauper. She knows her origins and stuff. And then it's really just making a ruffle in the courts and stuff that they have to deal with this pauper girl. I'm not very happy about it. And they're not like super true antagonists. They're just kind of like being annoying. You have some of the court nobles starting to like you sway to her side, and really it's this other strategic layer of combat as I see it. Like you have the physical combat with the knives and stuff and blood and everything, and then you have this court politics of them trying to get public opinion with the nobles, and you have a third one with like the papers and the paupers and the people like also having all this. It's really interesting setup to have these three different layers of combat you can be going on, and they're not really equipped for it, and Ellie's not really equipped for it, and she's learning, but it's really interesting to see all this happening at the same time. Like when I got to this whole Queen's POV and she's talking about dazzles and brilliance, I'm like, what's going on here? Is this actually what they called him? Like, I don't remember. I've never seen anything like this before. So it has this, it's this like whole other world that has all its own rules and stuff. And the rules aren't explained. You have to like figure them out as you go. And if you make a wrong step, you get screwed. That can be very frustrating. And it's very compelling to read Ellie go through these finding outs of how all this court politics works. All right, let's talk about some smut. First off, we get the smut dance. So we got some smut. Thank you, author, for the smut. So there's this first scene where Ellie won a bet and could ask whatever she wanted. So she has to ride the kitty. She wanted to go meow meow up in the sky, and I'm with her. They find a hill secluded from the town and do their like first base things. You know, they got first base. They're making out, and then finally she gets into the urchins, and we're getting to second base now. And he's got all this pent-up sexual tension and lust for her that he's finally releasing. They're getting into it, and he suddenly pulls away. And with this look of complete control over himself, he's like, no, hold on. Let's have some patience. Let's set the scene. And begins taking this warm blanket out and put little magic lights out to dazzle her and stuff. And then he gets down and they get to second base. And oh my God, I am so turned on. The author got me. I'm bisexual for Rain. And it's not about that he's a man or he's hot or his chest or anything like that. Or his ability to become a fluffy kitty. I mean, yeah. It's his tenderness and his attention to her and wanting to make sure she's consent with every single level before he even like goes up to another level to second base and stuff, and make sure she's all revved up this whole time. And then he has this complete control over his savageness that they just feel, you know, like pulls away. He's like, hold on, patience. Just this intentionalness of every action is so hot. He's just so cognizant of every single little move, emotion, and thought of Ellie. He's always empathetic and thinking about all of her needs constantly. So this complete empathy and awareness of her every desire need is a huge turn on for me. Like, yes, fucking please. I don't even know if, is this a kink? Is this like a normal kink? Is like, oh yeah, I got vanilla kink. Like, I feel like this is like a healthy kink, you know? I don't know what to call it. All I know is like, I want this. I wanted to be in Ellie's shoes with this man giving me complete attention and empathy and like this like small little desires and notices. It was beautiful. I was a man, but I'm moist. I really wish we could have seen more of this from Ellie's perspective, because it was mostly about how Rain was feeling, and he's focuses all on Rain, which makes sense because we're supposed to be like a female like viewpoint and stuff. So we're not really focused on what we're feeling. I wish we could have, you know, gotten a little bit more from her angle, because, you know, I think it's hot that Ellie's getting turned on too. So then that was fun. We got another little small little smut scene where she uses telepathy for the first time. And as soon as Rain gets, he's like, oh. Like, we have a little bit of premature popcorn popping in the microwave, so to speak. He's like, gods have mercy. Poor ancient monstrosity that scorched the world is getting his true mate's first telepathic messages in his head, and he can barely handle it. There is a scene with the mind control subordinate of the mages getting railed from behind. It felt icky. You're not supposed to like it or get turned on by it. She did give consent, but at the same time, she's mind controlled, so not really. It's mainly there to show like this dude's fucking evil. Not a turn on. Like, literally every single person born into this nation can be mind controlled by the mages at any point and just be taken advantage of. That sounds fucking horrible. Burn it all to ash. That's how I feel. All right, and then We have this one smut scene where the queen has one of her dazzles come up to her and give her a some coffee, what it feels like with an aphrodisiac in it. Basically, like spiking her cup with some Molly or something. It felt very icky, but she immediately like realized what's happening and kicks him out, and so he doesn't get to like continue. So she runs to the king. She's the queen, and he's in his office, and she just starts stripping. She's like, "Okay, I got Molly in my system. We're gonna take advantage of this and get it out." And I love this. Like, you don't really see much in fiction where the queen and king are so like in love with each other. Like, I'm trying to imagine me as a husband at work and stuff, and my wife comes in, just starts stripping. She took some Molly before she came in. She's revved up and ready to go. Like, excuse me, guys, I got to drop from this meeting. My meal is here. I know that it was kind of like bad how she got the drugs, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this idea of having your wife still want to feel young with you and to give herself to you and enjoy the pleasure of your company and stuff while hopped up on aphrodisiacs. That's a turn on. And it's even more of a turn on that they're married. This isn't like his secretary or a floozy or something. This is his wife. There's so much more ideas and connections behind it and stuff. It's something you just never get to see. Like Molly and the aphrodisiacs and stuff are more of like a swinger thing, like you see in narrative fiction. Like, you never see like the wife and the husband, they go to a swinger party, they take aphrodisiacs, but it's always about like how the wrongness of it. It's not for them. They don't really want it. And then this all like just leads us to the dinner. The dinner is like, this is a 3 out of 5 spice, but I didn't really need much more spice. This was amazing. I love this dinner. So let's go back through how I was feeling leading up to this. First, you have Rain claiming Ellie in this courtroom. So all these ladies of the court, you have the queen and the king there, and they're watching Rain and Ellie like accept this claim, this true maintenance and stuff, and it turns everyone on. King like calls a recession, and the queen's like, "Oh, sweet Lord of Light." And they go to, get those feelings out, and all the women pile out to go find their husbands. And all the fae are making bets, like, how many children do you think we're having in 9 months? So we have this thing where like Rain's sexual tension is like spreading out to everyone and making them like very horny. All right, and then you have the queen, who I already established got this aphrodisiac tea from this dazzle that she kicked out, but she still has the aphrodisiac. And we're at this court, and we're shown it like no one really likes these court people. They're just kind of nasty and stuff. They're not happy with Ellie being a pauper, and the queen gets this bright idea. It's like, hey, let's spike Ellie's tea with some aphrodisiac and have her make a fool of herself in court, which is a horrible thing to do to someone. But we've established that these people are horrible, so like you're not rooting for them. I am rooting for this scene. Like, if we're going to have this kind of like idea of her drinks being spiked by aphrodisiac, I'd rather have it in a novel, like experience this uncomfortableness in a novel. I want to see what happens. So leading up to this, I was thinking, I was like, what? They should just give the aphrodisiac to Rain. Like, after what happened in court, like it just like having it affect everyone and stuff. That would cause a scene. You probably should just do that. And was I rewarded for that thought? Because the aphrodisiac's going to Ellie, and I'm just like, oh, she's going to make her act a fool, not everyone else. And then her magic starts to happen. So it's basically someone who's on an empathogen like Molly and stuff, where she's just like getting really horny looking at Rain and like, please just touch me. I want to touch you. Just touch me. And getting upset that he's not touching her, and just like this heat is rising inside of her. But the magic starts hitting everyone else too. So she's starting to channel all her emotions to everyone at this table. And like the queen's like, it's getting a little tight in my bodice. And the king's like, and I'm just like, And Rain finally turns to Ellie, is like, The meow meow has awoken. And then the villain's also possessing one of the ladies of the court to like spy on this thing. And she starts getting horny. And she's like, I wonder what's happening. And then like she gets attacked by the other guy coming in. This poor woman, man, she's getting mind controlled and molested. And like, it's really bad. And now we have a motherfucking orgy at our queen's dinner. I love this idea. I did not see this coming at all. Like, I didn't know I wanted this. Now I have it. I go, God, I want to go watch Jane Austen novels, like books or movies and stuff, and like just pretend everyone consensually spikes themselves with Molly at all these fucking dinners. Yeah, who's acting the way I'm becoming of a lady now, bitch? And I'm just like, waiter, can I have what she's having, please? Just bring that over here, please. Get her smut dance. Oh yeah, we get her smut dance here. And it's such a huge turn on. I'm just like, all of these just people laying loose. They're all paired up with eligible ladies and eligible men together, and their husband and wives are together and stuff. It's like, God, it's so hot. I don't really have sympathy for any of them. Like they were all nasty to Ellie, so like we're not really supposed to have much empathy for them. Oh no, the queen didn't use the correct knife to strip off the ties to her bodice. Oh, the scandal. Madame, please unhand my hardened wood. Madame, my monocle is unset. And then we have Rain, who has made an oath to Ellie's father not to bed Ellie until after the nuptials. So now he has to race her back to home, and she's like grabbing him and feeling him and moaning and licking his ear. She's like, oh, puts her to sleep. Thank God. And all the 5 quintet like warriors, the Fae warriors, are sitting there dancing like they gotta go pee. Please, Rain, release us. I gotta go number 3. And they rush off to the brothel to take care of their stuff. But Rain can't. He can't do any of that. He's under oath. He can't break this honorable bond. So he races off to like the deepest body of water, the channel and stuff, where it's like barely above freezing, to get like the coldest shower possible. He's just at the bottom of this lake, just screaming for hours. His blue balls are as big as like the Hope Diamond and just as hard. I feel for you, brother. I feel for you. And I am so upset with the author after this, because we do not get to see the aftermath of all this fucking queen's orgy. It's going to be in the next book. We end the book right afterwards. I'm just, give me the fucking tea. I just want to rush into the author's house with my finger guns and be like, give me the fucking tea. Where is it? Where's the fucking tea? I'm probably going to buy the book off screen and just read the aftermath of this, because like, I gotta have this. I yearn for this. I have sexual tension with this tea that I need now. Just dying the entire time. This dinner. Like if the rest of the book wasn't 5 stars, you're getting 5 stars for that. And I don't even care about any other story arc at this point. Like, give me the fucking tea. All right, so that's all the smut. It was very nice. Let's get into like my favorite moments. We have Kieran in chapter 2, who's keeping the twins back from Rain and Ellie from like finding each other and stuff. And he's got all these like claw marks on his face, and he's like holding out this kid. He's like, like, he's such an honorable guy. He's not even going to hurt these kids at all. You can inflict any pain on him. He's not going to hurt them. It's just, it's so cool. We have Ellie's mom like outside watching all these Fae construct like these shields and protections around her house now. And she's just like shaking her fist at them like, get off my lawn. And as she's distracted, you have all these like quintet guys like slip into her house to defend inside of it. They're very snarky. And you have all these like Fae just like leaning against doors and windows, trying to act all nonchalant and like, yeah, how's the weather? I'm just gonna brood right here and, write some poetry in my head while I defend. I'm just trying to imagine like all these humans walking around with these insanely hot men just like staring at them, and they're just trying to look like they're not the normal experience here. I don't know. And then you have Ellie in chapter 5. She says she's trying to compare this true mate this to like an arranged marriage. She's like, this intense true mate love compared to the gentle love of an arranged marriage. I'm like, oh God, girl, you're so indoctrinated in the patriarchy. I had to show my partner this line. She erupted in laughter like I did. And it's even funnier later because towards the end of the novel, she's like a queen now. So like her twin sisters and stuff are now like treated as princesses now. And they're like, well, let's do some betrothals and stuff. She's like, no, they will grow up and find true love. And I'm just like, girl, you denying them the gentle love of an arranged marriage. How dare you? Yeah, you may have forgotten you said that, but I didn't. We have Rain in chapter 11, who is trying to explain how this relationship is different from his first wife. It's like as much as the sun and the moon with its reflected light. And Ellie's like, which one am I? And Rain's like, the sun, Ellie, you're the sun. I also showed my partner that, and she's like, yeah, I would have needed to be told clarity because I would have assumed I was the lesser one too. Like, oh my gosh, that sucks. Definitely too vague for sure. And then we have this idea of like the true mate's desires are never going to be denied. So whatever Ellie wants is happening. And what she wants to do is open some wedding presents and get a registry going for thank you notes. And Rain's like, God. I'm like, I'm with you, bro. I'm so with you. So he gets his quintet, his the most powerful warriors in the Fae to come and help them. And they're just like visibly upset about this. I feel them too, man. And Rain's like, all of you have honored this Fae. Like, even Rain can be snarky. Like he's shown to like not understand like sarcasm and snarkiness during this entire time, but he has his moments too. He can be a little snarky asshole. And then there's this part at the end where the antagonist is in Ellie's dreams. But I already talked about the molestation, but like, so she's hiding from him. And she knows that if she comes out of hiding, it's going to be very bad. And the antagonist is like, I want you to jump out of the shadows where you're hidden. So what I'm going to do is show you what happens when you do, and all of your friends and everyone that you loved is going to die. You want this woman to jump out and like stop hiding. So you're going to show her how horrible it would be when she does. I feel like we could workshop this idea a little bit more. Like, hey, you know, I'm raising my hand. We're at the board meeting about this idea. Like, can we talk about this a little bit? Can we talk about possibly like doing the opposite, maybe? I mean, yeah, okay. You're the idea guy. I'll go back to my job. I'm sorry. I just feel like maybe this won't go as well as you think it will go. But like it worked. She did jump out of hiding. So like, what the fuck do I know? It's quite humorous though. So that's everything that I liked about the book. What did I not like? It'll be fine. Kieran loves small children. Just don't ever write that sentence ever again. I don't care the context. Don't ever write it again. That's it. It's really all that's all I have wrong with the entire novel. Like all the bad parts were shown to be like bad and you're supposed to not like it and stuff, and all the good parts are shown to be good, and we glorify this actually like impossibly perfect man named Rain and Ellie's imposter syndrome and starting to feel getting into being this queen role. It's an amazing novel. I really enjoyed every single word about it. Like there was never a time that I didn't like any part of it. So this is the final thoughts. FMC and the MFC are great. I love their relationship. It felt like a very healthy, positive masculinity and femininity. They just treat each other so well. It's so heartwarming and loving. Like it feels like the ideal relationship that I want to treat my partner like Rain treats the FMC. I love the plot. The plot's the relationship, but like there's stuff going on. They have obstacles thrown in front of them by the antagonist, and they overcome them, and it's so satisfying to read. So thank you, Offer, for the wonderful book. I hope you enjoy the coffee money I gave you. Can't wait to read the rest of the series. I had a blast with this book. You're very good at what you do, and I'll be recommending this book to everyone I know. I'll see y'all in the next one. See you later.